Welcome to the Unstoppable Pursuit podcast, where we're pushing the limits in business, life, and health. And today, we're talking about unselfish thinking. It's episode 17. My name's Brian Benson, and this guy, well, he pops his collar, and you all know it. Michael Stahl. He's got a Dominate Your Day reading, and you can check that out at michaelstahl.com because it's an awesome book, baby. Let's do it.
All right, what's up, everyone? Your thoughts lead to actions, and your actions lead to habits. Take a step back and re-examine your daily habits. Are they productive? Are they advancing you towards your goals? Do they bring a sense of fulfillment to your life? Do your habits enhance the lives of others? Oftentimes, it will take individuals a long time to develop habits and get into a routine. And unfortunately, when it comes to health and wellness, it's easy to break out of that routine by accident. For example, you've been going to the gym for 5 months now, but all of a sudden your work hours increase. Now the gym is non-existent to you. So make sure that your habits are backed by a strong mental attitude of keeping your priorities straight.
Woo, baby! Woo! That felt good.
Nah. Make them say,
Oh, man, that's good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Well, today we're talking about unselfish thinking, and honestly, this is something that I really want to talk about because thinking is something that many of us do probably not do. I mean, Let's be honest. Thinking is hard, and you have to be purposeful about thinking. Truly, we're getting this book, some of this content from John Maxwell, who I'm a John Maxwell certified coach, and he wrote a book called How Successful People Think. So we're going to take this from How Successful People Think. He has written 80 leadership books. He's interviewed some of the top successful people in the world. So this stuff is true, it's good, it's right, it is the best. And this actually is his best book. I went to his conference when I became certified by him, and he said that you need to have this book because it's his best. So that's where we're bringing this stuff from. That's why it's credible and why it's going to be kick-ass. So, Let's start it off, man. You want me to read the first one?
You go ahead and read now. I'll do this one first one.
Unselfish thinking brings personal fulfillment.
Now I'm going to be speaking from my perspective on this one, and I can honestly say that it does make me feel happy when I give to others. Now, my fault for me is I'm not a good receiver. Mm-hmm. Like, for example, when people try to do things for me, I typically am like, no, let me do that for you. But it's like people feel good about themselves when you are giving. You know what I mean? Like, it brings personal fulfillment. It makes you feel good. So for me, I need to personally get better at receiving because I know what it feels like to give. And we've talked about that in a previous segment. It makes me feel really good. It makes me happy. It gives me personal fulfillment. But I'm actually blocking that when, let's say, you want to do something for me. Let's say, whatever, you want to buy me a massage or something like that. And I'm like, no, dude. Well,
I might give you a massage.
Oh, things just got a little creepy. That's hilarious. No, but for real though, it does bring personal fulfillment. And there's a good quote in the book. Charles H. Burr said, "Getters generally don't get happiness. It's the givers that get it." And I think that's true because it makes me feel good when I give.
Yeah, no, and just from another book from a guy that I actually had the pleasure of interviewing was Bob Berg. And he wrote the book The Go Giver, and
I love that book.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was talking about. Yeah, I love that book. Yeah, that is an awesome.
It does. It really does bring personal fulfillment when you are helping others and really when you could build personal fulfillment through helping others. It's everything, right? I mean, you need to have that element of personal fulfillment somewhere in your life. So.
Yeah, and I think that like teachers, for example, like it takes a special type of person to be a teacher because you are constantly giving. Mm-hmm. Give. And I've met some amazing people that are really awesome teachers, and of course they're very underpaid, which is unfortunate. But like a teacher, for example, is constantly giving. But teachers are very special because they're constantly giving and just basically giving all of themselves to better the person, the students, the class in front of them. So shout out to all the teachers out there.
Yeah, holla to the teachers, and the more you give, the more you'll receive.
All right, number 2, unselfish thinking adds value to others.
I mean, how does it not really? When you are unselfish about something and you are able to give to others, it is so important to add that type of value. I think about people in any kind of business or sales. If you are being selfish and not sharing your product or your service to them, and even if it's even if it comes at a cost, like, you're being selfish. Like, you have something to benefit and add value to others. You need to charge for it, and you need to be okay with that, That's adding value. That's being unselfish. Just for those people in the sales world, because I think sometimes people don't want to charge people, or they're afraid to ask for the sale in many ways, and it's really, you're just being a selfish person. Like, be unselfish and think about other people and how you can add value to them. And when you get, this is part of the book, so I think this is great, is when you get outside of yourself and make a contribution to others, you really begin to live. And I think that's awesome.
I love that. Yeah. What I would add to that is, this is the reason why we're doing this podcast. We didn't think of this podcast as, oh, let's do it for us. No, unselfishly, we thought, dude, we have a lot that we want to share. We're not experts in anything, but we have a lot that we want to share with you guys that are watching and listening. And unselfishly, we thought, dude, let's pay it forward. Let's try to take everything that we learned and offer that to the people that genuinely want to listen and watch. And so, we're learning a lot about ourselves by thinking unselfishly.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, when you start anything, I mean, this was also an itch that Mike and I needed to scratch, was like, hey, we wanted to get ourselves out there, but we wanted to do it in a way that we knew was going to benefit other people, because that's what we're passionate about.
Right. Is it me?
I think so.
No,
it's you.
It's you. You just read
Unselfish thinking encourage. Yeah.
Wait, no, I read that last one.
Did you really?
Yes.
Oh.
Here we go. Yeah, your turn to read.
All right. Unselfish thinking encourages other virtues.
This is a good one, and I'm going to take this directly off of our printout here, is that it becomes easier and helps to develop many other virtues, such as gratitude, love, respect, patience, and discipline. And again, I think it makes us a more well-rounded individual. And I'm going to use our podcast as an example again, by us unselfishly thinking, you know what, we want to pay it forward to those that are watching and listening. Brian and I, and hopefully you guys, are developing a lot of other characteristics about yourself that is helping improve ourselves in our own individual traits. For example, we talked about this off air before we started this, and I said, I'm not an expert, like our last segment was on listening.
Yeah.
Dude, I suck at listening. And I'm not afraid to admit that. However, I am improving on my listening. I am improving on my patience and my discipline and all these different things by us trying to pay it forward to you guys that are watching and listening. Like, this is about you guys. It's not about us. But by doing that, I think I'm improving myself. It's improving other aspects of my life.
Oh, dude, and a virtue that we talked about earlier, too, was patience. Patience is a virtue. Well, we talked about that. Mike and I, especially maybe even me more than Mike, I have zero patience for anything.
Calm yourself, Brian. Calm yourself.
I want success yesterday. I want to be the house on the beach, private jet yesterday. But I've had to learn that it takes time and a lot of effort, a lot of hard work, but it will eventually come to you. But it is definitely through that unselfish thinking, adding value to others, has really helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Selfishly.
You were a sucky person before we started this, but you've really improved to be an intelligent, fine young man. All right, number 4. Unselfish thinking increases your quality of life.
If you want to improve your world, then focus your attention on helping others. That's what it says in the book, and that's so important, the quality of life. But what you have to do is improve the quality of others, of their lives too. When you're out in your journey, when you're doing the things that you need to be doing, you need to be helping others and making a much larger impact. It will definitely be more fulfilling for you in the end. I mean, that's just, your quality of life is, we look for tribes, right? We look for people who are like us. We look for people who we can rely on and care about and be the same as. And if you can help those people and their quality of life, it's only going to improve yours. So find your tribe and start improving other people.
Yeah, I love it. I don't have anything to add to that.
Awesome, man. Well, let's get to number 5 here. Unselfish thinking makes you part of something greater than yourself.
The first thing that comes to mind on this is what we talked about earlier with the book called The Go-Giver.
Yeah,
right? It's called The Go-Giver. And in that it said, it was the young man was being taught that you should give more in value than you take in payment. And he thought that was like a weird business formula. How am I going to get ahead if I'm giving more in value than I am, actually receiving in payment? And really we talk about it, and we've talked about it in the past, that when you give, it's very magnetic. Okay, so if I'm giving a lot and I'm thinking unselfishly, chances are people are going to want to be a part of what I'm doing, and they're going to want me to be a part of what they're doing. So really, you're like it says in the book, unselfish thinking makes you a part of something greater than yourself, and it's so true. Like, we are paying it forward to the people that are listening, that are watching, so we are part of this huge movement. It's not just, this little segment that we do each week for 20 to 30 minutes. Like, hopefully we are, penetrating your guys' daily habits and what you're trying to achieve with your goals. So, this is a very, very large movement, much bigger than just us two on this podcast. So again, it's about adding value, so much value to people's lives that they want to be a part of it, and it just makes it so much bigger when there's so many more people that are involved and they're amped up about what we're doing.
Yeah, if you want to do something, if you want to make a true impact in this world while you're here, you have to do something that's greater than yourself. And, this kind of actually makes me think of Gary Vee's book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, because it's like, add value, add value, add value, like do something bigger, like push yourself out there, like help people, help. And then ask for the sale, which will probably be benefiting people anyway. So
right, exactly.
It's all about really, really pushing out, helping, unselfish thinking to make others better and something that's greater than yourself.
And if you continue doing that, like you said, the money will come.
Yeah.
If you're consistent and you're giving value to people and you're really taking care of their needs and thinking unselfishly about others other than yourself, that money will come, because again, people are going to want more of that.
Yeah, because if you're sitting there going, I want to be rich, I'm starting this business because I want to make a lot of money, I'm doing this because you're not going to get there, right? Because you're just going to you're so into yourself that you're not going to serve anybody. And if you're just building stuff and doing things for your own benefit, it's not going to work out for you. Trust me. I don't think Bill Gates or Steve Jobs ever went out there and was like, I'm going to build a personal computer and do it. That was so nerdy. I shouldn't have done like that. That was totally.
But their goal was to serve people. It wasn't to serve themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Jobs even said, he's like, everybody will have a personal computer, and I want to make sure it's the best. And that's what happened.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And I think that's pretty epic, considering that everyone does have a personal computer now.
Yeah. Exactly.
Hit the nail on the head. Number 6, unselfish thinking creates a legacy.
At the end of your life, everybody wants a legacy. If you're not living for legacy, then, what are you doing? I think that, you need to be thinking about what people are going to be saying at your funeral. What's your tombstone going to read? What is your legacy on this planet? Was it this guy was introverted and stayed indoors and did everything only for himself and was all about him? Is that think about what other people are going to say, because at the end of your life, there's not going to be all the awards, all the things that you did, achievements and things like personal achievements, personal awards, like that stuff nobody cares about. At the end, everyone only cares about the memories they have of you and how you impacted them.
Yeah. So
to me, it's like, create that legacy, create that thing that you want people to remember you by, because that's the only thing that's going to last.
Yeah, that's the key word is last. Like, you need to do something very special, think so unselfishly, and add so much value to other people's lives that outlives you. Yeah. Long after you pass away. Like, I want to read this out of Maxwell's book. I circled it because it's pretty epic. If you are successful, it becomes possible for you to leave an inheritance for others. But if you desire to do more, to create a legacy, then you need to leave that in others. When you think unselfishly and invest in others, you gain the opportunity to create a legacy, like Brian said, that will outlive you. Yes. That gives me a goosebumps reading that. That's pretty epic. I can't even add anything to that.
I think that many people look out into the world and truly want a lot of success, But at the end of the day, I think if you were on your deathbed, you search for significance over success. And I think that's, a big deal. So
I love that.
All right, let's get into how to experience satisfaction of unselfish singing. We don't get no satisfaction. We're gonna sing this song to you because we love you guys, and here we go. All right, so the number one thing to do is to put others first.
I think I learned this at a young age just because I was involved in athletics so much, and the athletics that I was involved with was typically team sports like football and basketball and baseball. But I do remember my mom saying, Michael, it's not always about you. And that's what Maxwell put in the book, is that number one, put others first. The process begins with realizing that everything is not about you. So that's number one of how to start thinking unselfishly, is realize that it's not about you. I mean, some of it is, but it's not all about you. There are other people involved. You are going to make a much greater impact by thinking unselfishly outside of just your own little personal existence.
Yeah, leaders put others first. Leaders go first,
exactly,
and then they put others first. I think that is so big, to put others first. You need to be, your own needs will be satisfied through helping others, because things will get done. There's the empowerment factor. There's help. When you help other people achieve their dreams, chances are yours are going to be there too. You're going to achieve yours as well.
And you hit the nail on the head with the leadership thing too. We've talked about this in a previous segment, that really the most effective leaders are the ones that are thinking unselfishly. They're thinking about the customer and where the gap is and what service they can provide them, and they're also thinking about their team and taking care of those people around them to bring out the best in them, not the mess in them.
Yeah.
Number two, expose yourself to situations where people have needs.
This is just getting out of the comfort zone. Something that I love to study and learn about is the comfort zone. But I'm telling you, there's one thing to say you want, oh man, you hear about homeless people, or you hear about people that have needs, that really have real needs, but you don't do anything about it. You just say what you could do, or you think what you could do, or you, maybe dream about it or talk about it, but the rubber meets the road when you actually put yourself in the situation where the true needs are. And unless you're willing to do that, then you will not be able to influence or lead people. You have to go there and put yourself in a position where you're taking action on helping people with their needs.
I don't have anything to add. That's well said.
Oh man, I'm well spoken today. I don't know, maybe not. All right. I like this one, man. This is going to be a good one. Give quietly or anonymously.
This one's an interesting one, because the first thing I think of, and I've talked about this with Lindsay, is if you won the lottery, okay, and let's say you won $500 million, and let's say you wanted to give to a charity or give to the church or whatnot. Like, I've always pondered the idea of, would I want them to know if it were me that was giving the money to them? I think, talking about giving quietly or anonymously, I think that's a big challenge for people, because people do want recognition. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? People want to feel like they're being recognized, but I think it takes a truly strong individual to give without expecting anything in return, and especially not wanting to be recognized. You know what I mean? There was a story in the news of a guy going around I don't know what he was doing. He was paying. Oh, I know what he was doing. An anonymous person was paying for people's layaway at Walmart during Christmas time, and no one could figure out who this dude was. Well, obviously he had money, but no one to this day knows who that guy was. And I think that's something truly special when you're in a place where you are thinking so unselfishly that you give extreme value, you don't expect anything back, and you certainly don't expect to be recognized for it. That's pretty epic.
Oh, completely, man. I think if you're seeking recognition, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's very true.
If you're not, if that's all you, look, you need to care about the organization, the person, the people, the things that you are giving that check to, or whatever it is, even if it's your time, but don't do it if you're doing it to be recognized, you're just out of alignment with what it's there for. Like, you have to give. Giving quietly or anonymously is probably one of the most humble things anybody can really do, and I think you said it perfectly earlier, so I don't want to repeat, but I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, and quickly, I just want to say, in Maxwell's book, it says it's almost always easier to give when you receive recognition for it than it is when no one is likely to know about it. And that makes me think about, like, integrity.
Yes,
you know,
character,
you know, like, your reputation is what others think of you, but your integrity really is truly who you are, you know, your character. So it's like you have to ask yourself, you know, like, based off of your integrity, is this something I would do if no one was watching? Mm-hmm. You know, would you only pick up the trash walking into, you know, a restaurant, you saw a big pile or a couple pieces of trash? Are you picking that up because you want others to think, oh, that's nice that he did that? Or are you picking up just because, I don't know, you just want to pick up some litter on the way in because that's what you want to do and that's who you are?
Gosh,
you know what I mean?
Man, you know, that gives me the goosebumps.
Integrity.
Because you think about that. You think about that so much. It's like, if are you in alignment with who you are when no one's looking, and then when the spotlight's on you? Like, are you that same person?
Yep.
And
that's deep.
Honestly,
that's
like,
deep, bro.
Yeah, well, it just makes you think. Like, how many times have you probably just walked by that piece of garbage when you were by yourself, but you know, but maybe when there was other people watching, you're like, oh, like,
exactly.
look at me. But it's
exactly.
like, dude, give me a break.
And we're kind of jumping ahead too.
Oh, are we?
No, I'm saying because that's going to be number 5 on here too.
Okay,
it's like,
right.
Really, like, where is that coming from? You know what I mean?
I know.
All right, number 4, invest in people intentionally.
You know, and Maxwell actually just came out with his newest book called Intentional Living, and I think that you have to live intentionally. You have to be intentional about thinking. You have to be intentional about all of the things that you do in your life, whether that's leadership, whether that's going out and helping somebody. But invest in people intentionally, because you don't know what you could do when you invest in people. I am telling you right now, people are your greatest asset. No matter what you're doing, people get things done. People matter. Really, they do. And I want you guys all to put $1 million on everybody's head that you meet. No matter what they do, no matter what they look like, no matter where they are, people matter, and intentionally invest in them, because when you do, you will see so many great things come together, and it can make a massive difference in your business and in your life. Flat out, man.
I love that. You saying that, putting that money on top of someone's head, that makes me think that, like, absolutely every single person that I cross paths with holds some sort of value, and I'm sure I can add value to their life, and they could probably add value to my life. You know, like,
100%.
Crossing people is not just an accident. You know, there's something that you can take away from everyone. So that really makes me think, you know, like, I don't know, maybe, like, you know, smiling at the next person you see walking down the sidewalk, or saying hello or something like that. Like,
yeah, give a
Things,
compliment, you know? I mean, you could totally change somebody's life with one compliment, one smile, one whatever, but be intentional about it. Like, think, have some self-awareness. The lack of self-awareness drives me crazy, but have some self-awareness and invest in people, man. It's so freaking important. People are valuable. Everybody's valuable. We're all here for a reason. You wouldn't be on this planet if you didn't have something to give. Drives me nuts, man. Sorry,
yeah,
I was getting passionate about this.
No, and that's fine. And I would say, you know, a challenge is to every person you cross paths with, take them very seriously and respect that partnership in that relationship with them. And I guarantee, and this is just, I'm saying this out loud for myself too, I guarantee it probably will change your life in many epic ways.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really will.
Yeah, I love it, man. All right, number 5, continually check your motives.
This one kind of goes back to number 3, and that's why I was saying, like, you know, like, where are your motives at? You know, and it says in Maxwell's book, and I love this, there are spiritual, mental, and emotional benefits that come only to those who give anonymously. And I love that, because, you know, I think that people will see where your motives are from the get-go. Mm-hmm. I'm a good reader. I have pretty good intuition, I would say, and I think that I can read people that their motives are not right. They're not in the right place. and I pick up on that vibe. You know what I mean? So really, we're probably not going to form a relationship or a partnership. So, I've always, I don't know. I think that the motive thing, I think that was taught to me at a young age from my mom and dad, because they always told me just to do what is right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's never really been about recognition for me, I can honestly say, and I'm happy to say that, but that was because my parents raised me that way. I don't know, when you're by yourself, it's like, let's say the lawn need mowed. Well, just because someone's watching doesn't mean I'm going to half-ass the lawn. I'm probably still going to put perfect lines in that grass, just because that's what I want to do. I was taught to just do it, even when no one's watching. Do the best job that you can.
Yeah.
So I think that people will pick up on bad motives.
No, they will. I mean, people can smell BS a mile away, and I think that it's so important for you to have your motive. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Put your best foot forward. Really. Just check your motives. Why are you doing this? And if it doesn't feel right, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Then it's just not right for you. Then go do it. Do something else that does feel right. That where your motives are in the right place. But don't sit around and BS people and try to trick people or do things that your motives aren't aligned, because that's not cool. That's just not. I mean, this is all about just doing what's right for yourself. I mean, seriously, at the end of the day, you want to do what's right for other people, but if you're not doing right by yourself, then you're never going to do right for other people.
Right. Start being unselfish, start thinking unselfishly, and teamwork makes the dream work. And the one thing that I've always respected about basketball players in general are the ones that lead the team in assists.
Yeah.
And I was a point guard growing up too, so I was kind of a pass first, shoot second type of player. I was actually told I was too unselfish, and that was to my disadvantage, because there are times when you need to take the lead, take the bull by the horns, and kind of be selfish, But I've always respected.
But if it's for the betterment of the team.
Exactly, yeah. If it adds value to them, and so I think that point guards, if that's great if you can score 30 points a game, but if you can do 12 to 15 assists, that means that you are assisting to another player and you are making them better. A great example is Scottie Pippen.
Yeah.
He played number 2 to Michael Jordan, but he was a super unselfish player, and that probably helped Michael Jordan become even better than what he was going to be if it was just himself. You know what I mean?
Completely, brother. I 100% agree with that. So, great stuff. Well, that's all about the unselfish thinking. Now for the challenge, and this is just the intentionality of this whole thing is big for me, and I want you guys in this challenge to schedule time in your calendar to intentionally think. I want you to actually put it in your calendar so it pops up as a reminder, and you take an hour or 2 hours to actually think things through, reflect on the things that you're doing. Is it right for you? What are you doing? So you can go through all of those unselfish thinking benefits and the satisfaction of it, and just think. Take that time by yourself to think about all the things that you want, that you need, how you can help others. Are you aligning yourself? Is your character right? Are your motives right? Really, really get into that, because actually in the beginning of this book, all successful people take time to think. That's why it's called Successful People Think. Hello.
Think.
Think.
Use that brain.
But be intentional. Be intentional about it.
And lastly, the health tip for this segment is H2O. Drink more water, people. I know it seems very simple, but honestly, we're not drinking enough water, okay? Our muscles are primarily about 70 to 80% water, and if you're not watching right now, Brian is bonging a whole thing of water. But our muscles are 70 to 80% water, so why would you drink anything else if that's what primarily most of your body is made of? Now, people say, Mike, how much water should I drink? I mean, honestly, I try to drink a gallon of water a day. Now, when you go from drinking very little to a lot, you're going to pee a lot. Your body will adjust and you won't pee as much because your body's able to handle drinking more water. But you may see a boost in metabolism. You may even have clearer skin, better bowel movements. I mean, the list goes on. But drinking more water is very, very key. So rather than thinking, oh, I got to get a gallon of water, I tell people to try to drink your body weight in ounces.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of a little bit more realistic. So give it a try. You'll feel a lot better by drinking more water. And remember that once you get thirsty, it's already a little too late. You're already kind of dehydrated when you get thirsty. So make sure you never allow yourself to feel thirsty. That's when you know you're drinking enough water.
Yeah. Give me a tip though, Mike, because it gets forgetful, don't we? Like, I think I need to be drinking more water, you know? I'll go to the bathroom and be like, wow, my piss is yellow.
I know.
It's not a good color, you know? I'm like, I feel dehydrated, I feel thirsty. Obviously, I try to sometimes carrying a water bottle or something, but what else could we do to, like, as a reminder to help us drink more
There's
water?
actually apps available that can come up on your phone to remind you to drink water. Another cheap alternative is, let's say you have a gallon jug of water, you can put lines on the side of it in black marker, and you can put time intervals throughout the day of where that line water should be. Like, for example, if I have a gallon jug and I want half of that gone by, let's say, 5 p.m. So I'm going to write 5 p.m. like right at the middle portion, and it reminds you that you need to get that water down, which means you're drinking it, half of it by at least 5 p.m. So you kind of put time intervals on there. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. That's a cool little water drinking hack for you all. I like that. We're getting more health hacks, more health tips. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you all. We appreciate anybody who hopped on live. Like, we love you. I mean, Mike and I, we love you guys. You are our audience. We are so grateful for you, and we are so grateful for anybody who check us out on YouTube, check us out on the podcast platform. Please subscribe, rate, and review. It would mean the world to us. We are really working hard for you, and we want to get to the new and noteworthy so we can make a bigger impact on more people. So that's what this is about. The unstoppable pursuit is adding value and making a really, really big impact. So thank you guys. We love you, and we will see you all on the next episode.